Who's Dinner Cook Along. My name is Xin Yan, I'm from Your Right. And today we are going live in Su Ling Tan's kitchen.
Hi, welcome.
So today, the theme about our cook along is local produce. Do you know that farm to fork experience is possible in home cooking as well? And it's so good because the produce are so fresh. They're just a few kilometers from where we live, and lower carbon footprint and healthier for our good quality as well, because we can trace back where the farms are. And so today we are going to enjoy really fresh ingredients and learn from Su Ling how to make wholesome food and and bring out the best flavors. Right?
Thank you. Yes. We're going to just start with the steamed fish because it's going to take 12 minutes to steam. So I thought that we could just prep it so that then when we're doing the other dishes, everything can sort of get completed.
Okay.
Right.
So let's just tell everyone first what are the 3 dishes actually we'll be making today.
Okay. So we're going to make a steamed snapper, Hong Kong style. And to serve with that, I'm going to make an omelette with tomatoes.
Yes. To optimize the time when the fish is being steamed.
Yes.
The second dish.
Because, I made for a complete meal, that kind of works. And then for a separate meal, I'm making a salad with local greens.
Yes.
And that goes with a Southeast Asian dressing. And to serve with it, we're going to pan fry some local barramundi.
Ooh, sounds good. A very well-balanced meal, and sounds colorful too. I hear lots of fresh lettuce, salads, dressing. So shall we get started?
Okay. So with the fish, what I did a while ago was to take it out of the fridge. I rubbed it with salt generously on the outside as well as the inside, and just left it at room temperature for about 20 minutes. And then just before we started our session, I rinsed the salt off.
Yes, I saw that.
I just had it dry.
Okay, so put some salt, pepper, and then
no pepper, just salt.
Just salt. Sorry, just salt, and then rinse it.
And mostly that's just to kind of it's just to make the fish smell fresh, and then it's like a light seasoning to the fish. But then afterwards we'll have a dressing that will actually flavor the fish.
That's right. Yes.
So first thing, you want to use a heat-proof dish. And what I've done is I've prepared some spring onions, and that goes underneath the fish.
Okay.
So that when you want to take the fish out, because personally I prefer to remove the fish from the dish.
Yes. So we can show the close-up camera really quickly. So we place the stalks of spring onions, and then we're going to put the whole fish on it. It's a steamed fish, Hong Kong style steamed fish. And look at this huge fish snapper. It's being farmed. It's from a local farm in Singapore.
Okay, then I've also prepared some coriander root. Actually, a lot of people don't realize that this part here, can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, this part here at the bottom is actually where all the flavor and the aroma is. So don't trim it off. Actually, keep that. Yeah.
The roots. Yes. And put it in.
I just put it inside the cavity.
Yes.
Okay, and then along with that, I've just sliced some ginger. Sorry, just like checking. You can see it, and I'm putting that in too. Okay, so like in a regular work day, I would have prepared all these ingredients just like today.
Yes.
Sometimes I do it the night before, or I do it in the morning, and then when I get home, I can just steam it.
Yes.
It's ready to go.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me just wash my hands.
So Su Ling is actually an entrepreneur and a mom of 3 children. So she values home cooking, and her family enjoys like dishes like this, like the Hong Kong style steamed red snapper. So today she's going to share with us a few tips how she organizes herself and make home cooking manageable while working and being a mom.
Okay, let's be honest here. I don't cook every day.
Yes.
It's not possible.
Yeah. When we want to cook, there are ways we can make things happen.
So traditionally you would do a stovetop sort of you might have a
steam,
wok with a rack,
and
you just bring the water to the boil. I'm doing a similar thing here. With steam oven. I just kind of find that this is really convenient because I can just set the temperature and the timer because I'm cooking pretty much the same recipe over and over again. Then it's cooking.
Yes, exactly. Yay! So first dish already in the steamer.
Yes.
So for those of you who are cooking along with us, please switch on your webcam. Don't be shy, so we can see your progress.
Yes.
And then we can exchange tips.
Yes, and if you have questions, please feel free to shoot them over.
Yes.
This, I think,
Okay.
if you can I trouble you, please.
Yes.
Thanks. So usually while the fish is steaming, I might put the dressing together.
Yes.
Okay, this is just so you can see what it is.
Yes.
It's sugar and equal parts of water and soy sauce.
Okay.
So
Water
it's very
and soy sauce.
simple.
Very simple.
Yeah,
Yes.
simple dressing. And if you have a soy sauce that you like that's already a little sweet, then you don't need to add sugar.
Got you.
Okay, so that honestly, I usually measure this out the night ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm rushing to cook the meal, I don't have to worry about measuring things
Yes.
and finding things.
Yes.
Yeah. And to garnish afterwards on top of the fish, I have prepared these items. Can you
Oh,
see
so
that?
this is the coriander actually, and we use the roots in the fish.
Yes.
And the leaves here.
Yes, that's right. And the top of the spring onions are here, but then the base of the spring onions would have gone underneath the fish.
That's right.
Okay, and then just a little bit more ginger
Yes.
to go on top. Frankly, my kids don't eat any of this.
Okay. These are for flavors.
They will just push it away. But to me, it's important to have them because
Yes.
it adds flavor to the dish.
I see.
Yeah. Okay, that's for later.
Yes.
And usually I would have the rice cooking already in the rice cooker, and so it is cooking. And then the next thing is to cook another dish so that mom and dad don't go hungry.
Yes, because kids love the fish, so
Yeah, it's like when I tried, I've not actually steamed snapper before for the kids. I've done that in the past, but not for the kids. And when I tried this recipe out, I served it to them, and they were like, they were actually really enthusiastic.
Yes.
They loved it, so it's good news.
Yay! So kid-friendly recipes.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm doing is a very sort of common classic dish of omelette with tomatoes.
Yes.
We're using local eggs today.
Yes. So going to Singapore, actually, there are quite a few brands, and if you want to buy local produce, you can scan the QR code we are going to show you on the screen and find out more about local produce and where to buy them.
So there are 5 eggs here. It's really, really simple. All you have to do is just beat it.
Yes.
And I like to use chopsticks because I don't want to add too much air into it.
Right.
Okay, before I continue with this, I just realized maybe I should start the heat on the sorry,
The wok. Yeah.
the wok because I've never used this induction pot here to cook with. So it may be a bit of a trial and error.
So we have a question on what is used in the sauce for the fish. So
It's in the recipe, but basically it's like half a teaspoon of caster sugar that I then put 2 tablespoons of hot water to kind of dissolve the sugar, and then another 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. That's it.
that's it. Simple, right? And if your soy sauce is a bit sweet, you can also omit the sugar.
So we are just getting the pan ready for the omelette.
Yes.
Okay, then I just need to find my oil.
Mm.
It's quite a lot of oil for the 5 eggs, but I found that this is about 2 to 3 tablespoons. You can adjust it to your liking and depending on your wok. I just prefer to be safer. This is a dish that I started making when I was away in university. Actually.
I see.
So
Wow.
something that is very comforting.
Very
and
comforting, yes.
simple.
Simple. So what ingredients do we need for this omelette?
Yeah. In a normal day,
Yes.
we don't have much time. Just regular tomatoes. What I've done today is I've roasted them
Ooh.
because I had lots of tomatoes,
Yes.
and that just makes it a little more. The flavor is more intense.
Yes.
But a regular day, you just work with whatever tomatoes you have. We have great local tomatoes.
Yes,
also.
these are
Yeah.
from locally grown as well. I think you roast it because then you remove some of the water, so the flavor becomes more
Yeah.
intense.
More intense, and also because if I have a lot, and it may go bad.
Yes.
So I roast it so I can keep it for a bit longer.
Smart.
Yeah.
Good to know
5
that.
eggs.
5 eggs.
Wow, this pan is going fast. And then what you do is just season the the eggs. So I've got just some fine sea salt
Mhm.
and a little bit of freshly ground pepper. This you just do to your preference.
Yes.
Okay, because after this we will also season
Seasoned when the eggs are in the.
when they're done.
Okay. Maybe for five people, you put 5 eggs. Maybe we can put.
I mean,
Fewer
honestly,
eggs.
because we're a family of four, well, five actually. And so what happens is the kids eat most of the fish, and
Yes.
so we have the 5 eggs so that it's a pretty sizable
I
omelet.
see.
Yeah. Okay. Then when the pan's hot, and I've set this to 180 degrees, and when I'm feeling it, I can feel the heat.
Yes. Then we can
Actually,
pour
all
it.
we do is just pour it in.
Yes. We can hear the sizzle sound.
Yeah. Yeah, so once it starts to set, you can see it's quite runny.
Yes.
You want to let the eggs set a little
Okay.
more.
Okay. So no hurry to touch them yet.
I'm just gonna. Thank you. I have editorial commentary in the background for the
Yes.
children.
They are observing the dinner in the making.
So I'm just breaking it up a little so that the liquid egg that's cooling gets cooked by the pan. So you can see that it's getting reasonably cooked.
Right.
I'm just going to throw in some of the spring onions
Mm.
because I want the spring onions to not be raw
Yes.
when they're eaten.
Yes.
So just push the omelette aside
Okay.
and then you throw it all in,
Yes.
and then let me just stir it a little first.
So making the omelette with local eggs and locally grown cherry tomatoes. So when you go to supermarket, right, you want to know which produce is locally grown. You can look out for the SG Fresh Produce red logo. It's a red and white logo. We're going to show you on the screen. So look out for this logo when you identify, oh, I know this is locally grown. Oh, okay, I want to buy it because I know it's fresh. I know it's good quality. We can know which farm it is from. And so you know what to buy. And buying local produce is also making a positive impact because the more you buy, right, you're supporting local because the more they can grow, the more they can produce, ensuring better food security for Singapore. Woo! The
So
omelette
it's
so
really
pretty.
fast. I mean, you can see it's quite simple,
Yes.
and we're pretty much done.
Mm.
The last thing I'm going to do is just season with a bit of soy, and it's really up to taste.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yay.
How are we doing for fish? Where is it at?
Wow, the color has changed. And I think we are about.
Oh no, it just started steaming.
Okay, it was heating, right?
Yes, it was preheating.
You can see the fish is sweating in the steamer.
Can I get your help, please?
Yes.
I'm just going to hold the wok up and
Yes.
just. Yeah.
Scoop everything in.
Thank you. Thank you. Maybe you can just show everyone.
Yes.
The shall take the wok.
Yes.
Thank you.
So have a look. This really quick 5 minutes omelette with locally grown eggs and locally grown cherry tomatoes with some spring onions. Ta-da! Are you hungry? Are you hungry?
I'll give you a spoon, you can taste.
Ah, yay! Best part of hosting live. And I think this will go so well with rice. Oh, we have some rice being cooked on the side. So please remember to cook rice as well to go along with the fish, the omelette, and the Southeast Asian salad that we'll be making very soon.
Here you go.
Yay! Thank you.
Normally, I would taste as I go,
Yes.
but in the rush and since we're on camera, I'm not like
Gonna
tasting it so
gonna
much.
taste this.
hot. Careful.
So yummy. The egg tastes really good. I like the spring onions.
It's a nice sort of contrast, right?
Yeah. Very good. Thank you, Celine. I'll bring them back.
So as the fish steams,
It's 10 more minutes. We are going to get. Do you want to do the sauce for the fish?
yeah, and the plate, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just going to set up the counter. Yeah, I just need. Okay. So usually, because when we steam fish, there's liquid that pools
Yes.
in the dish. Because for this style of fish, we're going to add a hot oil over it.
Yes.
So what I prefer to do is to remove the fish and put it on another plate.
Exactly.
So
We don't want the fishy smell.
and so it's not wet.
Yeah. So tip here, when you steam fish, do not pour away the liquid, whatever there is in the steam.
It's well, I mean, for this style of fish,
For this
but
style,
you don't
yeah.
like the Teochew style steamed pomfret. You keep the
Yes.
liquid because that's part of the dish.
Yes.
Yeah, so it depends on the style.
Okay, so the Hong Kong style fish, we pour the oil over it. You can try, of course, at home which one you prefer, right? You can try keeping the liquid and then or pour it away and pick what you like. This is all what about home cooking.
More specifically, because with this dish, when you pour hot oil over the water,
Yes.
the
The
juices,
juices.
everything goes.
Oh yes,
Yes.
of course, oil and water.
Yeah.
When they're heated, not good friends.
Yeah. So that's also part of the reason why it's done.
Yes,
Yeah.
good tip.
Okay. Let me just get some spatulas out so that I can move the fish around.
So they have a question. We talk about steaming fish. What do you think are the best ways to enjoy fishes like snapper, barramundi?
Okay, like I mean, a lot of the time you can steam or pan fry.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, because I'm feeding young kids, I
Yes.
prefer to steam. It's easier to also divide the fish.
Okay.
And let's be honest, the cleanup after kind of deep frying something
Yes.
is
I hear you.
a lot of work. So I try to also minimize the frying. It's not also the most healthy
Yes.
thing to do.
Yes.
Honestly, with my kids, it's only the steam Hong Kong style. So basically, we steam different kinds of fish
Yes.
depending on what the kids want to have.
Okay.
For my husband and I, prior to the arrival of kids, I would pan fry the fish. So like very similar to the one that I'm going to show.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, we would have had it sort of like it's a more Western style, a French style of preparing fish. You butter, you dust it with flour, and then you pan fry it, and then you finish it with like a brown butter sauce.
Ooh.
And it's something that I used to cook for our dinner when it was just the two of us. So I just try to find a new way to serve it using the local barramundi, and also to make sure that it's kind of a little healthy to serve this out.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How are we doing now? 7 more minutes.
7 more minutes.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is just to preheat the oil. Again, a lot of these things are guidelines, so it's up to you how much or how little oil you prefer to use. I've got here 3 tablespoons of oil.
It depends how big your fish is as well.
True. Yeah.
Can we use any oil?
I generally use a vegetable oil.
Mm-hmm. Vegetable oil.
Yeah. And
You can see the one that we have here, the color is pretty light.
you just try to find something that's neutral and that will be okay, sort of heated up. Because
Yes. Don't go for olive oil.
you want to get it really hot to the point where it's almost smoky.
Okay.
So I'm just going to keep it fairly low at the moment because very often I make the mistake of heating the oil too soon, and then as I'm transferring the fish, it's smoking and like
Okay.
it becomes a bit of a disaster.
I hope there's no the fire.
No, we're not going to have a
Like,
fire alarm go off, but
We're just cooking.
yeah, but that's just something that I noticed, because at the same time I want to make sure that the oil is perfectly hot, because then when it hits the spring onions and ginger and the coriander, it really kind of almost like cooks them in a way, and the aroma gets released.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you something pretty out of this cooking. We're actually standing on a mat. Just want to highlight that it's really comfortable. Do you have any tip for that? Have this in the kitchen?
This is something that my husband chose.
Okay.
To be honest, we have arguments about it because it gets in the way of me pulling out the drawers.
Okay. I see.
But I mean, I agree. I think if you're working at the counter
Yes.
for a long period of time, it is nice, especially because we generally move around barefoot
Yes.
in our home, that you have this sort of soft mat, and that is probably better for your posture.
Yes. Yes. A good tip also, if you're in the kitchen, you feel tired, like standing is tired for you, you consider getting a soft mat that helps you, so you feel like, oh, okay, actually it's not so tiring standing, because I know like cooking it is work, it takes time.
It's quite physical.
Exactly, it's quite physical. So this helps.
Honestly, I think what makes the biggest difference is actually the height of the counter.
The height of the counter.
Yes, and to pay attention to that when if you're constructing your kitchen, to make sure that it's ideal for your height, because the standard counter height might not be
Yes.
the best,
Yeah.
and when you're cutting and chopping, you shouldn't be bending over too much.
Oh yes.
Right,
That's
it should be quite comfortable.
Yeah.
As opposed to the sink, when you touch the bottom of your sink, you also need to see whether you're bending over
Yes.
a lot more than
Otherwise,
you need
yes, you feel like constantly you're doing this when you're washing the dishes, and your shoulder, I can get really
Yeah.
strained.
to. Are we cooking too fast?
No, I think we are. Are we cooking too fast? How's our pace?
Worried that we're just going to speed through the whole thing, and then we have like half an hour left to chat.
I think we have 3 more minutes for the fish.
Mm.
And yes, well, we still have the Southeast Asian salad, which we're using 3 types of lettuce grown in Singapore. And yeah, Southeast Asian salad dressing also.
Yes, it was something that it's inspired by a salad that I tasted at a friend's resort in Langkawi. To be really honest, right now I can't even remember what the dish was, but I know in my notes that I wrote down that it was inspired by a meal that I had at the resort. And the idea was to kind of celebrate the flavors that we've grown up enjoying, and put it into a dish that's easy as a one meal,
Yes.
one dish meal.
Yes.
Yeah. So I use gula melaka with sugar to create a syrup. Gula melaka and
Gula
water
melaka and water.
to create a syrup, and that is almost like some people would use honey in the dressing, so it's that similar sort of role in the dressing. I use fish sauce for the seasoning, and right now I can't remember the rest of it off the top of my head, but kecap manis,
Kecap manis, yes,
Yes.
the sweet sauce.
olive oil here because it's I want something that kind of brings together all the flavors, and I haven't put any chili in the dressing, but that's an option. If you
Yes.
like your food spicy, that you can just either slice chili padi or a red chili, or you could also just add like a chili chuka in it just to give it a little bit of a kick.
Interesting, yes.
Okay, so we're 2 minutes, and then I'm just gonna turn the heat up on
Yes,
the
so
oil.
you can turn it, if your fish is about ready, 2 minutes or 1 minute here for us,
Yeah.
please, start to heat your oil. And if you have any questions, please send to the chat. But I think it's so simple, right? So far, I'm sure you're doing well.
I think if you're doing it for the first time, it wouldn't feel so simple though, honestly.
Let's see.
The omelette I've been making since I was like in my late teens. So it's something that's quite natural to me. And the fish is in many ways something that you have to practice. And then once you get a sense of your own timing, then it becomes a smoother process.
I see. And so when we heat up this oil, right, would you want to have the coriander, the spring onion, the ginger all in, right?
No, we're gonna put it on top of the fish.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then just pour the oil over.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
So it's done. I'm just gonna let the steam sort of settle for a bit.
Yes. So we steam for 12 minutes, and of course depends on the size of the fish. Yeah, can
Just be
adjust.
careful.
Yes.
Okay.
You can show the camera first. Ooh, look at it. It almost looks like it's microgreen, but it's not. It's just
Here
steam.
we go. Can you see?
Yes. Can
So
you see?
the key thing, if you're not familiar with steaming fish, how to tell doneness, I usually look at the eye,
Mm.
and if it pops out, that's usually a good sign. And if you have a really thick piece of fish, it's a good idea to cut slits, sort of use, slits here, so that
On the belly, yeah.
so that the insides of the fish get cooked
Yes.
evenly
Yeah,
also.
some like to cut the slits and then put the slice of ginger and spring onion in it.
Yeah. So I'm just resting this here.
Yes.
Okay.
It smells really good, like very fresh, a clean, like seafood smell.
Okay, and then you just lift up the fish. And this is where it helps that you have the spring onion so it doesn't get stuck to the bottom of the dish.
Ah,
And
yes,
then you just
keep
put it
the
here.
fish and the skin intact.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's it. Okay, I'm just going to remove this. And you can see that
I can do this.
Thank you. You can see that the oil is smoking over here. Can you see it? Yeah.
Yes.
See that? So we want to turn it off. Okay, I'm just going to put this here so you can also see this. So the first thing I do then is to pour the seasoning. If you need to, you might want to stir it so that's evenly blended, and then just pour it around the fish so that you don't make it more wet than it needs to be.
Okay.
Okay, this is the sauce that you use with eat with the fish, but it doesn't need to go
On top of it,
on
yeah,
the fish.
just around the fish. Yes.
I prefer to sort of sprinkle the ginger first because to me in my head it's a heavier ingredient.
Yes.
And then I put the spring onions.
It's really Hong Kong style, yeah. That we see in like we go to restaurants, they have this, the similar way of setting up ginger,
And
spring onion.
you can see it's really quite simple as long as you've prepped all the ingredients. It can be quite
So even though we
fast.
can't go to Hong Kong now, we can make Hong Kong style steamed fish with local rice snapper.
Okay, and then so the oil is super hot, and make sure you don't have like kids especially close by because at this height it can be
can
quite
splatter,
dangerous.
yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yay! Beautiful Hong Kong style steamed red snapper by Celine. Yay!
So yeah, in how long did it take us to put this together?
Now it's about half an hour. We have put together this two dishes.
Cool. I mean, I don't cook like this every day, but when I have the headspace and the time to prepare this dish, the kids are very appreciative because this is like the kind of stuff that they love eating. Yeah,
It's very sweet. Okay, so now
okay.
should we
We work on the
ingredients?
salad, right?
Yes, let's do the salad.
Ooh. Thank you. Just out of the way.
Maybe we could bring this. Yeah.
We can just put this on here. It's okay. You can rest it on this. Yeah. Maybe we can take the dishes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Table.
This one is hot.
Yes. You want to see the fish again? Yes. One last look. It's going on a dining table.
Okay. So with the salad, I had shared a list of ingredients,
Yes.
but honestly, this is something that you should just adapt based on what you like and what your family likes.
Yes. So over here we use 3 types of lettuce, all locally grown. So coarse lettuce, batahay lettuce, and red lettuce. You can
Yes.
see the
So in
color.
here, what I've done is I've just taken the oak leaf or red lettuce
Mhm.
and the butterhead,
Yes.
right? And I've
correct.
just kind of very coarsely torn
Yes.
the leaves. There are, I think it's one of each, one head each.
One
and
head
that's
each. Yes.
Because I'm kind of aiming for enough for 2 people, I guess.
yes.
Okay. And then in addition, there's a whole bunch of things
yes,
here.
we need to introduce them one by one.
Okay, so this is, let me move this out of the way. Let me put it here.
Yes. Yes.
This is xiaobai cai, local xiaobai cai.
Wow,
So
okay.
just like
Wow, I can't tell. Oh yes, it is. If you look at the stem, yeah, the pattern
including
of the leaf.
the stems here. It's quite green tasting, to be honest. So that's why I have shredded it quite finely.
Yes.
But it is a nice contrast because it's crunchy.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we have the local tomatoes here,
Yes.
which I've just halved. And I've just taken 10 cherry tomatoes and halved them. I've just squished out the pulp a little so that it doesn't get too wet in there.
Yes.
In the recipe, I think I've mentioned mint leaves. So I've
Mint leaves.
also just taken the leaves out.
Yeah, remove the stem.
And then I think, what else is it? This was romaine lettuce. Yes, which I've also shredded. This is also locally grown.
Yes.
Yeah. I may not have mentioned coriander and spring onions, but this is where I wanted to make the point that you choose whatever you have on hand.
Right.
I like sometimes putting Thai basil.
Oh yes. Yes, that's nice.
So those are leaves. It just kind of depends on what you like, and then just to put them together.
And we have this as well.
Yeah. So this is kaffir lime leaf, and I've just like finely shredded it. That will go into the dressing too.
Sure.
This is torch ginger flower. Again.
Oh wow.
Okay. So I just happen to have it in the fridge, and I do really like the aroma of it. So I'm going to just mince this at the very end and sprinkle it on top of the salad.
I look forward to see how this can be used for a salad to add flavor.
Yeah. So I'm just going to first put in all the greens, okay, and after that we'll make the dressing. Usually, what I do is I make the dressing actually the night ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can be kept in the fridge for a day or two.
Yes.
And then you can just use them.
For a few over a few meals.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Be more efficient in this sense. With meal prep once.
No time to cook everything from scratch each day.
Yes.
So it's about trying to find ways that you can prepare components that can work in multiple dishes.
Yes, and also the coriander and the spring onion are used in the fish too.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So I'm just tossing it here gently so that it's kind of evenly mixed.
Yes.
Take your time to do this because like the xiaobai cai would naturally kind of sink to the bottom because it's quite heavy.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm just going to put the mint leaves, and you have to kind of assess whether you think it's too much.
Yes.
It's not a science, and you just cook to your preference and taste.
What do you think are some of the ways that you like in terms of like enjoying vegetables? Cooking them.
I do like salads
yes.
because it kind of retains all the vitamins. It's kind of easy to put together, and it comes down to what you have and just being creative about working with what you have. Apart from that, I do try to incorporate things like the omelette.
Yes.
Because it's hard. It's almost impossible for me to convince the kids to eat vegetables.
I see.
So I try to find ways to entice them, and then if not, it's really very simple things like leafy greens, and then a quick stir fry with a bit of garlic and oil and soy sauce. Because it's almost like meal prep.
Right. So vegetables. I think we want to maintain the freshness and the nutrients, the vitamins. So salads and stir fries. Yeah,
it's just convenient.
Yeah. Yes.
This is kaffir lime leaf, finely shredded. In the recipe, I think I asked for maybe 6 leaves. But again, it really comes down to what you like.
Yes.
I happen to have a plant, and that's why I can be
generous,
and also kind of like I use it in everything. So because I know that when you go to the supermarket and you buy a bag of kaffir lime leaf, it's huge.
Yes.
And
I think you freeze them though.
I've never tried.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, to preserve them for longer and then take it out just like 20 minutes before you want to use them. And
okay.
Then
cool. I'm gonna set the cherry tomatoes aside first.
Because you don't want to add too early. Then
Yeah,
just
So I would prefer
So-
to dress
we'll
the
do the dressing first.
Yeah.
Okay.
also just to dress the salad before I put the cherry tomatoes in.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, the cherry tomato is kind of the last ingredient
Yes.
to finish
I'll
off.
see all my post-its to myself to remind me of what I'm doing.
Yeah, my stylist today is so organized. Yeah, she showed the ingredients, how she prepared. Really, yeah, I'm so impressed and thankful that she prepared really well, so that we can all learn and get tips from how to cook wholesome home cooked meals.
It's fun.
Mhm.
And I've been sharing recipes for many years, so
Yes.
it's kind of just quite natural
I'm
for
a
me.
fan. I follow.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. I just kept this in the pot because I wanted you to see the texture of when I combine the water and the gula melaka and we can like sort of caramelize it. That it's you can see how it's kind of
A bit shiny.
it's shiny,
yeah.
but it's also kind of viscous, right? It's
yes.
not just like
liquid. Like there's some texture, thickness to it.
yes. So let me just see where can I put this so you can see
Sure.
everything.
Oh, we have a question here. Where can we buy?
呀，它有一个 Cook-a-thon free 的啦，我是什么 free 都跟他 sign up 咯。
It's kind of easy to find if you go to the wet market. I think some supermarkets
Yeah, palm
have
sugar.
it
You
also.
can get it too, like this. It's like those round shape,
Yeah.
cylinder shape,
Yes.
and then you can just grind it and then they melt it.
Honestly, these days I don't even bother with that. I look for coconut sugar, which is granular,
Ah,
and
so
I find it on
already
like
powder. Yeah,
website. Like the, can I mention?
yes, of course.
It's like on Red Mart.
Yes.
I mean, I shop on Red Mart
Yeah.
most of the time, so I just search for coconut sugar.
Yes.
It's granular. It's not exactly gula melaka, but it's
Right.
a very similar kind of sugar.
Yeah.
So
And then we also want to know the ginger flower root, right? Where can we get them as well?
okay, I get this at Tikka Market.
Okay, yeah.
And so that's why I didn't put it on the ingredient list because I
Mhm.
didn't want people to feel kind of put off because they can't find the ginger flower
Yes.
and then they're not going to make the salad. So
Right.
things like even the coriander and the spring onions, I didn't really stipulate, but it's about just picking out things that you enjoy
Mm,
and
yeah.
which kind of speak to you in terms of like a regional flavor.
Very nice.
The other tip actually is if you go to the Japanese supermarket, the Japanese use a similar kind of flour.
Oh, interesting.
It's called Myoga,
Myoga.
Myoga. Slightly more delicate flavor, and the flowers are actually a bit like this one's quite plump
Sharp,
here.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
actually narrower,
narrow.
and it's
Mhm.
a little more pink on the outside. Yeah, so
Good to know.
that's also a handy source. So to start with the dressing, here's 6 tablespoons of olive oil.
Okay.
But
Great.
you can use whatever salad dressing oil
Yes.
you prefer. And then I have here, this is kecap manis,
The
2
sweet,
tablespoons.
yeah.
And the trick here, when you have sticky things like honey or kecap manis, and you measure it out, and then this
Ah, it just
half of it stays inside.
exactly.
The trick is to kind of grease the measuring container, so everything just comes out.
Yes, it does.
And so what I did was I used this same measuring container to measure my olive oil first.
Ah, okay.
So it's not
don't
like
need to
really
grease,
messy,
yeah.
yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
very efficient. I think when you become a mom, this all comes probably a bit like
Lazy person.
Naturally.
You have to wash up everything after yourself, so you kind of work out a system, right?
yes.
Okay, there's the kecap manis, and then I have the caramel. So I just pour that into.
Are you gonna shake the sauce?
Yes, I mean,
Oh,
It's just easy,
really
right?
Cool. Yes.
and I've just recycled a container that we had kombucha delivered in.
Ah,
You don't need a lot of fancy things
yes.
to be able to cook.
Yes, we can just take what's available around.
Yeah.
that's
And
fine.
I have here fish sauce.
Yes. Interesting to add. Yeah, it's really
It's like it's quite a strong and pungent aroma,
Mhm.
but I really wanted this to have that Southeast Asian feel
Right.
to it. And the funk is also part of what makes our food special
yes,
and
it is. Yes.
delicious. There's still a bit more.
We get all of them in. We want the dressing to be flavorful.
And-
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. just a bit, maybe I think Suni has explained just on this the caramel,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Do you mind?
Explain?
Yes, again. how
Yeah.
you-
So it was, I think it was 2 tablespoons of
Palm sugar.
palm sugar. And the easiest thing is if you buy the traditional solid pieces to grate it.
Yeah.
So you can measure it, and then 2 tablespoons of water, and then you just put it on the stove.
Yeah.
Bring it to a boil, but don't put it on too high heat. Just let the sugar dissolve, and then the best thing is to watch it, and you'll see it will gradually thicken. Not until the kind of the thickness of honey,
Mm.
but somewhere between watery syrup and honey.
Yes, a bit like a dark soy sauce kind
Yes.
of the texture. Yeah, then you know, okay, it's
That's
ready.
a good description.
You can also get the recipe in Uripe app. Yeah, we have all put this few days cookathon recipes under top collection. So
Okay.
today's 12-13. You can just click on it. I think it's the first or second card, and you will see the recipe of all the dishes they were making here.
And then the last thing I'm going to put in here before I put the acid is some grated ginger.
Oh, and this bowl, there's some crushed. Is this nut?
This is cashew nuts.
Cashew nuts,
That's
okay.
to finish at the end, because it's all about thinking about textures
Mm.
when you're making a salad. So
Okay.
I've just grated the ginger, and I've chosen old ginger because I wanted the ginger to balance out with all the strong flavors that are in the dressing.
See,
So
this is in the bottle as well.
yeah, so this is just, honestly, this is the easiest way, the fastest way to grate ginger with this Japanese
Oh.
porcelain grater.
Mm.
Okay. Yes. Except that now I'm gonna have to find
I
an
feel like could be good if you like to make like the ginger, like the chicken rice
Yes,
ginger
yes.
and chili paste. This will be a
yes, this is
great.
perfect. So, and then it has a spout, so you can pour in all the juice. If anybody is wondering where I got this is really old, but I got it at a Japanese department store.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay. And then the last thing I put in is about 2 tablespoons of calamansi juice, freshly squeezed. It's something that you should also kind of adjust depending on what you prefer.
Acidity you
Yeah.
like.
So that goes in. And then I more kaffir lime leaf because we grow it.
Freshly from the garden. Also locally grown in Singapore.
I'm particularly fond of kaffir lime because of that sort of the aroma. Yeah.
Yes.
Or if you prefer, you can grate the zest of kaffir lime
yes.
or some of calamansi. Sorry, that's
Right.
what our house sounds like most days.
We're shaking.
Yes,
Dressing.
as simple as that. And I would just chuck it in the fridge.
Yes.
I do it the night
yeah.
before. I
That's
chuck it in
great.
the fridge, and then before I dress, I just do this again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shake it so that it's well mixed.
Yes. Okay. Let's just move all these things out.
Right.
Please.
Yes. Onions.
Yes. But should I fry the fish before I dress? Yeah, so the salad doesn't get sitting around. Okay, so I'm sort of, can I trouble you? Pass me the
That's
fish.
right. Yes.
Thank you. There are 2 frying pans.
Yes.
Because we have to fry the fish and then we make the sauce.
Right.
Thank you. Sorry, I have children in the background, so they're talking. Maybe I can just-
So this is real home cooking. You get a chef from her own kitchen, and yes, the whole family.
Yes, you can. I'm sorry. You,
I can take this.
Okay, cool.
okay, the fish, the barramundi fillet.
Yes.
I think that this is enough for 1 adult.
Right.
And what I did was I took it out of the bag. And it's really convenient because it comes in a vacuum seal
Yes.
bag. And then I rubbed it with salt, just like I did with the snapper.
I
And
see.
I left it to stand also for roughly 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then just before we started our session, I rinsed it off and pat it dry.
Yes.
So this is ready to go.
Okay.
And what we do is, I've just got a pan. Actually, I can just use this hand.
We want to dust it with a bit of the
Yes.
flour.
Okay,
Yes.
so you know, I mean, when I first started cooking, there were like many tips on how to dust your food with flour.
Yes.
And people kind of advocate like possibly putting flour in a bag,
Yes.
like a sealed bag, and then you put the
Oh,
thing and
yes.
you shake it, right?
Yeah, I think I've seen this. That's too. How do you find it?
This is how I prefer to do it now because I end up wasting so much flour. when I-
Yes, I think
Can you see it?
Yeah. Do it right.
Okay, so I just dust. And you can just, kind of dust it quite generously, but just do that. Okay. And I can control
Yes.
the fallout.
Yeah.
I feel just press it in.
Press it in. So
Yeah.
after you dust it, you want to lightly press on
Yeah.
the dish and then turn it around. Yay!
And then do the same on the other side. This is, I like this flour because it's a blend of regular all-purpose flour and then some whole wheat flour.
Okay, so it's a blend of all-purpose flour with whole wheat flour. So use your favorite flour what you have at home.
So just not yet, in case we need more.
Okay. Yes.
You can,
Okay.
yeah.
Really press like
Yeah, you just want to
with your
make sure
palm. Yeah. Make sure it's well covered with flour
that,
and not too much.
yeah, because you don't want it to cakey either. I tend to just kind of like finish off the bits
Yes.
that the dusting cannot get in.
Right, because the surface is not completely even. You want to get the flour into.
Okay, I think that's
A
good.
bit more,
We can
that's
do
good,
that. I'm
okay.
gonna wash my hands, pardon me.
Yes. So let me show you how it looks like now. The barramundi fillet, locally grown, locally from a local farm. And this came in the vacuum pack, right? Very easy. And then now Sulin has dusted on both sides the flour. Press it and make sure that the flour is covered, the fish is covered evenly with flour.
Okay, let me move this out
Yeah.
there. So we have like some of these things.
Okay.
Okay, so what we do is then to heat the oil,
Yes.
about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil.
Yeah, we're going to pan fry the barramundi and serve it with this Southeast Asian salad. Okay. And what do we have here?
This was just I had extra caviar lime, so I
Okay.
just left it there. So for the sauce, it's basically some butter. My sort of default butter is unsalted, so
Yeah.
so that's what I've used here today. The idea is that we brown it almost to the point just before it gets burnt.
Yes.
The sort of the browned butter kind of that has that caramelized nutty flavor,
Yes.
and I will put some kaffir lime leaf into it just to also give it a more to kind of capture that sort of Southeast Asian
Yes.
sort
The
of flavor.
theme.
Yeah.
You know, the common thread of Sulin's recipe.
For today,
For
and then
today.
some calamansi juice. So I've tried to use things that I've already bought for the previous meal or for the
Absolutely,
salad, so that
yes.
you're not sort of like having to run around and buy stuff that you only use once.
Yes.
I think that's one
And
of
then
the
we're not
things-
finishing it and wasting it. So
Yeah, that's also part of the
Smart
reason why I like the idea of what you guys are doing at Your Right. Okay, I was smoking a little, so I'm just turning it down. Oh, because it's on the different settings, on the pot setting.
do we want the oil to be heated like really high?
No,
Smoking point?
no, that's why
we
I'm
don't
turning
want-
the-
okay.
The
No, we
temperature.
don't want it to be too hot.
You want it to be hot, but you don't want it to be smoky because once it's smoky, it's going to create like splatter.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a question. Do you salt the fish before?
Yes. So what I did was I salted it and let it stand for about 20 minutes, and then I rinsed the salt off and pat it dry. and I just leave it at room temperature because I don't want it to be cold on the inside when I'm cooking it.
Yes. So you salt it and then you rinse it and then you cut it dry.
Okay, so it's smoking. So
Okay, fish going into the pan. Skin down. Skin
I do skin down. Okay. Yeah. So we want that sort of sizzle, but at the same time we don't want it.
Yeah, it's not loud. It was very gentle actually. Yeah.
And then you can see how the steak sort of almost like shrinks a little.
Yes.
That's
Like the
kind of
center part. Yeah.
and I'm moving it around a little so you know that it's not getting stuck.
It smells so good already. A little bit, yeah. I think the oil is really hot. Yeah.
Okay, and then
How is everyone doing? Are you also pan frying the barramundi fillet? Let us know. And if you have any questions, either on the salad, on the fish, please feel free to send them in. How to get kids to like fish? Try it. Hong Kong style steamed red snapper.
okay, I'm just using the spatula. Can you see this? I'm just using the spatula to press
We can.
the fillet down on the fillet just to make sure that the skin is getting evenly fried.
Right.
I try to resist lifting it to peak. I find that kind of usually slows down the whole process. So what I've kind of described in the recipe is to basically pan fry this, and then you set it aside, and you kind of wipe it off the pan, and then you make the sauce in it. But because we're working in this space here and there's no sink, I just use two pans.
Right.
Now to take a peek.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, can you see that?
Yes, we can. Just move the camera a little bit.
Because I'm just gonna put it down again.
Yeah.
I want it to be a little more brown.
Yes.
So I'm leaving it on this side because what I do then is when we flip it, it's just to finish the cooking.
Right. So again, if you want to know where to buy local produce or more about them, please go to Singapore Food Agency's website, and we're going to show you the QR code. You can scan to go to the URL. There are a lot of information on it. It's like, why local produce, what the farms they are doing. There's some really nice videos so that we know, actually how our food is grown. Sometimes we just don't know because we just think everything is in the supermarket, everything is imported. But it's not true. Actually, more and more produce like vegetables, mushrooms, bean sprout, eggs, fishes are grown in Singapore. So find out from the website. There's also a number of recipes, different recipes. There are videos, some really cool one like wasabi kaya. I think there was one of them. There's like sweet potato leaves. There's like pandan rolls. Like there's really quite a number of very interesting recipes. So yeah, please check it out.
Just very quickly, you can see how the belly part is almost is pretty much okay.
Turning opaque.
So
white.
you can just gently flip it over. Damn, the skin is not as pretty as I would have hoped it to be, but there you go.
Yeah, because we tend to have to press a little bit so that the skin like to stick to the.
I wanted it to be like brown. So that's why I pressed it down.
I see.
And also, I find that this way there's more contact on the pan and the fish is cooking.
Yeah, more evenly also.
So that's pretty much it. Because I don't want to overcook it.
Right. Okay.
Okay, then I'm just taking
Okay,
it.
so off the flame. Yeah.
Turn off the heat.
Turn off the heat.
And then I'm just putting it on this to drain.
Wow, beautiful. Everything's way too humble. Look how pretty the fish is. It's a fillet. The skin is slightly brown, very well cooked. You can see. Yes. I'm just showing off the fish.
Then
we need another pan.
Yes, the other pan is just here.
Yeah, for the butter.
So turn it on again. Just make sure that it's on the correct setting. Just to not put it on a super high heat because you don't want the butter to burn too
Yes.
quickly. Okay, while the fish stands, I am trying to. We want to dress the salad.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll bring this.
Thank you.
So now we're back to the salad because we want to optimize the dining experience, right? So grill the fish before we do the sauce. Hey, let's come back and finish up the salad dressing.
Yeah, because I don't like my salad to be like very soggy.
Yes. Freshness, right?
Yeah. So this is truly personal preference. Okay, so you drizzle as you like. And of course, make sure your hands have been washed clean before you toss. You can use salad fork and
Yep.
spoon to toss, but honestly, I much prefer doing this because you can really make sure that it's evenly dressed.
Yes.
Okay, you can just
It smells so good. Do you want to try
no,
more?
no, this is enough. But
Okay.
you can show this while I go wash my hands.
Yes, yes. Wow, it smells so good. No, it smells a bit like those Korean salad dressing because it's a bit like soy and there's a fish sauce a little bit. Yeah, it smells really good. A bit sweet, a bit tangy. Mm. So we are in the last step of our cook along today, finishing up the dressing of the salad.
Yep, and
you
then
wanna add the
yeah. So what we
tomatoes?
do? Yes, great. And like I can get I need more spoons. It's like it's kind of I didn't prep the area. No, I like to do this so that you can sort of evenly spread the
Yes.
tomatoes around. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because part of it is also just visual, right? So you can throw it all in, or you can toss it and then finish with a couple more.
Right.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna put this here because I'm gonna slice it, and then the rest of it we can. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So there is. I've just crushed some roasted cashews. And you can buy like just really roasted cashews. I just prefer them not to be salted.
Yeah.
And just sprinkle it. So, again, it's about balance. So you just stop when you feel that
Yes.
it's done. And
Fresh shallots.
fried shallots, store-bought. I don't
Never.
I don't have the
Yeah.
headspace or time to kind of make it from scratch. Just find a place that gives you a good.
If you want to learn how to make fried shallots, you can tune into our day one's cook along with Chef Ning Tan. So while he made us glutinous rice with oyster sauce kailan, he actually prepared the fried shallots on the side. So you can tune into that video to learn how to make fried shallots at home. Okay, so the salad, ta-da!
Yeah,
It's
so we
ready
just
to be served.
Toss one more time. Okay. Usually, if I'm having guests, then I will do this last sort of round of tossing at
Yes.
the table.
At the table, yeah.
Okay.
This is ready to be served.
Okay.
Almost waiting for the
Almost
baron.
ready. And then I'm gonna slice the George ginger flower.
Oh yes.
Okay. Just trying to find space for everything here. The pan is still going. And I'm just looking for a cutting board, which I'm gonna rest on top of the plate because the space is
It works. Yeah.
tight. This is not the freshest flour, to be very honest, because I've had it for like probably 10 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it looks it's still
But
very
you can smell.
yes.
It's very
Wow.
aromatic, and it kind of just
Smells so good. So
gives
quite unique.
something different. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's kind of brown. Not sweet, not my preferred sort of freshness,
see.
but I'll just use some of it.
I have a question. If it's cashew, right? Can we just replace with another type of nut?
Yes, of
It's just
course.
extra.
Yes, it's just whatever you prefer. You could use almonds or peanuts, whatever you have on hand. Honestly, yeah, this is a very versatile salad. So we just like, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna chop off the top of this one too. You can see how slowly I chop, so I cannot do all this live.
No, not at all because they're really finely and evenly chopped. So.
Okay, so just sprinkle whatever you like and you have, and then I've got the pan ready. I'm just put the butter on.
Okay, like this.
I start with the heat not too high because the scariest thing is when things start to smoke heavily and they burn. Thank you so much. Okay, you can sort of see the butter there.
Ooh, yes, you can see the butter.
So we're just letting it brown.
Mm.
That's pretty much.
How much butter do we use?
In the recipe I said 85 grams for two fillets, so I've just used about 40, 45 today for one. Can I get your help? Can you just portion?
Yes. Oh my god. I guess
about a third, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I try to do my best. I'm serving
Whatever you
Sudi's Southeast Asian salad made with local lettuce, local 小白菜, and cherry tomatoes, obviously with a very nice regional dressing.
Okay, I'm just waiting for the butter. And as it starts to brown, I just throw in the kaffir lime because I want the heat also to kind of release the aroma of the kaffir lime. You can see how the color of the butter is changing. Can you see?
Yes, I can smell it.
So it's a very fine sort of line. You kind of have to
Yes, to watch really
Watch
carefully the
and
color and
yet
the
not be
smell.
afraid because once you want to get it to that nut brown stage because that's when it tastes magical. Okay, I just lowered the heat a little so that it's not so scary.
Yes, because we
It's
really
just
don't want to burn it.
From experience, I've burnt like butter so often that I know that I shouldn't take the risk. Okay, but smell wise, you can tell it's not there yet.
Okay. Do we add this brown butter on the fish before
Yes.
we put on the
So you can put the fish on.
Okay.
Here, here's the other special butter.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can- together.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Gentle.
Do you need me to do
gently,
it?
gently.
You can do it.
Yeah, can I?
Just
Scoop everything up.
Yes.
Okay. Whew, yes.
Well done.
Yeah.
I need that. You are so shy. You have the salad like in the corner. They're not mingling.
Okay. Yes, they don't need to be social distancing. Yeah, let's.
Thank you. And then it's pretty much brown. And then you just be careful, you might splatter.
Yep.
And you want to add
Calamansi.
Yeah.
Calamansi.
because this style of preparation, usually you would have lemon juice on the side and you would squeeze it over your
yes.
fish. I've just put it directly in here. When I try to convince the kids to eat this, I do the calamansi on the side.
I see.
I don't pour it in.
Oh, now the smell, yeah, it's very, you smell really the aroma of butter, and the color, you can see it's like brown. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can spoon it over or like do it the lazy way like me. Just pour it over.
I'll go with the lazy way. Woo! This is so fancy. This is like French dining. With Asian fusion, obviously, yes.
Yeah. And you know, honestly, if you like to, you can have it with a side of sambal.
Yeah.
I think it
Oh,
works.
ooh, yeah, great idea. So, ta-da! This is Sulin's a Southeast Asian salad using local grown vegetables
Mhm.
with locally grown farmed barramundi filet. Ta-da!
Do you want
Yay!
to taste? Let me get you a
I
fork
do,
and
I do.
knife.
And we have a question here. Is how? Oh, sorry, we're a bit over time. I didn't see you. They were 6:43. Thank you for those who have stayed with us. I think we got a bit chatty. Yeah, on the
Oops,
second dish.
sorry.
Someone's asking, how does the ginger flower root taste like?
It's the ginger flower.
No, the flower. Yeah.
Well, it is kind of. It doesn't taste anything like ginger for one thing. To me, it actually is reminiscent of a bit of laksa leaf, slightly
Interesting.
floral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the taste is definitely a bit. The smell and the aroma is a bit floral, but I think it's quite neutral. Right? It doesn't have a like.
It's not spicy or anything
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just aromatic, and to me, it kind of reminds me of the salads that we have in this region.
Okay. Cool. So, any final questions? Wow, we have someone say thank you so much for sharing the recipes.
Pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for staying with us. What time is it now?
It's 6:44.
Okay,
Yeah.
A little bit over time.
Oh, we're asking why is caramel needed? Can it be omitted?
For the dressing,
Yes.
it really comes down to your preference. I've put it in because I wanted to give balance, some sweetness to the acidity.
Yes.
And then, you know, particularly if you put some spice into it, it's quite nice. But if you don't like the sweetness, then yeah, leave it out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So once again, this is in collaboration with Singapore Food Agencies because we want to bring on the best flavors from the freshest ingredients that we can get our hands on, and because they are grown locally, just a few kilometers from where you live. So next time, please look out for the SG Fresh Produce logo, the red and white one. We're going to show you on the screen, and also scan the QR code. Go to the Metro site, understand a bit more about local produce, what you can cook with, get creative, and of course, we already have 3 great ideas today, so you can start with them. And for more recipes, yes, please check out your app. You can go with like if you want to Red Snapper, you can just type Red Snapper. We have recipes based on ingredients, based on cuisine, based on your mood. So I'm sure you know what we want to do is help you to cook more, eat better, and live well. I hope that you enjoyed the session today, and this is the last session of day 3. Thank you so much, Suling, for opening up your kitchen to us.
My
and
pleasure.
yeah, and your children and your family is absolutely lovely. I hope they enjoy the dinner, and then I hope we get a chance to cook with you very soon again.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
absolutely.
really good to work with you.
Thank you. Thank you.